This next inventor is Rizza Islam. Rizza Islam is the greatest of all time. I don't know why anyone else would even put GOAT on anything if Rizza Islam isn't included. This man is an international activist, a researcher, author, community leader, Compton native. Since the age of 11, he's been in the Nation of Islam familyhood. He uses the term Black intellectual extremist, which is interesting because I remember learning about the Black identity extremists, and that was just a name that the American government had gave us Black folks because they saw that we wanted liberation. And it was like, oh, the reason why we're being repressed so much is because we Black. And oh, this is what Blackness is. Melanin, this genetic composition that came from God. Oh, they mad. So basically, Rizza Islam called himself a Black intellectual extremist because it wasn't that we had some type of narcissism with our Blackness. It was, we understood what our Blackness was. That's intelligence. So basically, this man tutors his audience. He has like a Facebook, Instagram, and he gets shut down from many apps because he's always sitting there telling the truth. That's his content, is the truth. So his channel usually gets shut down because Black people are not supposed to tell the truth, according to white supremacy. So he basically tutors his audience about reinventing the Black American community economically, socially, spiritually, and on a dietary level. He participated in so many protests. Like, this man don't stop going to protests. I remember learning about the Dakota pipeline and just how much Native people have to go through just to still occupy their land. Like, it's crazy. So I was learning about the Dakota pipeline. Boom. Somehow Rizza Islam was there. And then he also protested the CDC autism in the Black community scandal. He was a part of that. He worked a lot with anti-vax people because of the poison that's within there. So he also was on a protest about various other things, and it's probably too much to get in because we can be talking about, in California he was protesting not having mandatory vaccinations and just different stuff that's necessary for our community that usually people are not aware of and they don't get involved in. So he put his nose in business that actually concern us. Even though we don't know he personally doing it, it benefits us. So the tech industry finds his message a threat to their personal agendas. So his social media sites are always interfered with, regularly. I remember always hearing about people being censored. I remember I was on one of his lives and he was talking about Martin Luther King and talking about how Martin Luther King had weapons in his car, which is logic because back then you think that somebody just wearing God and not trying to also protect themselves. No, they had to protect themselves from the devil. So he basically was saying that boop, his life get cut off. And I was like, oh, that's censoring because Black people gonna understand. Martin Luther King said, yes, be good. Don't just go out there and attack nobody. Yeah, they can hit you. But at the same time, behind closed doors, he was like, no, that's my public message. But my personal message, I would defend myself, period. He's a published author. And, when somebody writes a book, you can get a gist of who they are because they sat there and spent a lot of time putting their work and their intelligence into this message. So his book is called Message to the Millennials. That book is great. I read it and I have it. It basically covers the usual shadow history of America and society, always targeting and destroying the progress of Black Americans. He also addresses the need for us to basically get away from them. The need for us to separate from because we always do that. We always try to, recover after we've been attacked, and we never fully recover because that real attack has never been really addressed. In the past, we've got off plantations after all the abuse we went through, and then we went to go build our own cities. We got rich, boom. We had our own economy. That was a problem. They burnt our stuff down. Then they tried to integrate us, and it's complicated if you don't already know the story, but it's the same stuff. We get destroyed, then there's some type of, oh, don't be mad, we can fix it, and it's we keep forgiving them, but in reality we keep ending up in the same spot. It's abusive forgiveness. We're in an abusive relationship with white supremacy, and we need to get out. We need to separate. That's basically his whole solution, is that we need to separate. And this man is so great at debating. He's a great orator. He's like the Malcolm X, Martin Luther King of our time. This man is so graceful, and we literally have to give him credit while he alive because he does so much work. So his invention is basically being the Black intellectual extremist, which bounces off the Black identity extremists, which is the same thing, but we got to give them a different language. We not saying we dope because we Black. We saying that we know that our dopeness is within, which is so much more deeper than just skin. This man is very consistent and he maintains his integrity. He's always using his intelligence to create practical solutions for the Black community. It's very interesting. One thing that I can take away from his messages and one thing I can appreciate is how he always tells you to protect the life that God gave you. And it's so interesting because most Christian rhetoric is like, forgive, slap me on the cheek, turn the other one, stuff like that. But it's something about these Black Muslims that let you know that you are a graceful creature that's an extension of God. But at the same time, God didn't put you here to be bullied. He put you here to protect the life that he gave you or that they gave you. And that's one thing that is great to take away from this man is that he always tells you self-preservation, protect yourself. As an inventor, Riza Islam created Black intellectual extremists.